the fans, the community. Obviously, going into this game, we had some really big, high aspirations and hopes, and they showed up in a great way. Unfortunately, our first half performance, we didn't match that. I think offensively, defensively, and special teams, there were some things that we'd hoped to capitalize on, and we just weren't able to do that. But I did think going in the locker room at halftime, as bad as that first half was with the turnovers, the unique downing of the punt, to give them several possessions inside the plus 50 and to have as few points, I thought that might give us a little bit of hope, but we just weren't able to really ever get anything going. When we take into effect the way we turned it over, but then also defensively not to get off the field on third down, that was some concern. So just not a lot of things went our way, but we got to create those moments. I tell them all the time, before you can win a football game, you got to stop from losing, and we lost that game. It was just too many things that we gave them. A good football team like that, you can't spot them opportunities and expect to have success. So we put a lot into that game, a lot of preparation. I'd give a lot of credit to our guys to put themselves in that position. I know this is a resilient group. We're a 5-2 football team going into a bye week, which I think when I saw the schedule come out the first time, I knew that we had a late bye week, so that was one thing. But on the flip side of it, I thought this was going to come out of it, win or lose this game, and wherever we were at, I thought this was going to be a well-timed bye week. So it's going to be very important that we get right to get to where we want to be with 5 games left. So got to do a little bit of recovery health-wise. We'll do some recruiting this week as coaches. I think just my coaches got to take a deep breath, and I got good coaches that I think I just got to make sure we reassess what we have to get done to win games. Obviously, Luke, when we went to some pace there, really played well and did some things that I thought would be advantageous for us. We probably should have gone to it a little bit sooner, in my opinion, but the best thing that we got is an opportunity to get better this week during a bye week and see where we get on the backside. So I give a lot of credit to. We're pretty banged up. Josh Kreutz, just a testimonial to him. When he got injured 2 weeks ago, they said he'd be out for 3 to 4 weeks at a minimum, and he practiced Thursday. Caden Fagan had an AC sprain last week. That's why he kind of was limited today. He never really practiced at all this week, and he tried to go in there, but when I saw that was bothering him, I just didn't want to put our ball in jeopardy. And then Khalil got rolled up or got banged up with an ankle during the course of the game. Aiden Lawfrey practiced on Wednesday, Thursday, so he is kind of coming in. So it's a really good time bye week for us health-wise. But with that, we'll take questions.
What frustration bothers you most about kind of missing that opportunity?
Well, just those opportunities don't come around very often, right? And I always say that this is week 7 opportunity, and it's created a moment. We made it a really big moment. Now we created in my opinion, a memory you don't want to have, right? But we got to learn from it. We got to grow from it. I think for us as coaches, we got to take a deep dive into why those things popped up. We can't just say, we had a turnover, or couldn't get off the field. Like, why, right? Like, are we putting our players in the best positions? Are we asking them to do something they can't do? Obviously, you're going against a good football team, so they can kind of maximize some of those moments. But these moments don't come around very often. You got to take advantage of them when you can.
Bret, following up on that, 7 games in, what do you really want to reassess as a staff? Just issues that you've seen? Yeah,
I think we got some good players. We've got some adjustments on defense when you lose a guy like Xavier, a guy that you kind of built things around. But that happened after week 3, and so now to kind of assess where we're at, who we are, what we can do, I think is really important. I always think these bye weeks, everybody takes a deep breath. Well, to me, you kind of take a deep breath with even the excitement of, okay, where are we at and where can we go? Because we'll kind of teach it as a halftime of the season to look. The second bye week is going to be a little bit different, right? We're going to get 2 games under our belt and have a bye week before the 3-game stretch on the back end. So this is a very important week to assess who we are, what we can do better. Personnel, I think, would be the biggest thing. What can our personnel do really good? And then offensively, obviously, maximize the strengths of Luke and what he does, because our offense goes as Luke goes, right? And we got to be able to do that better.
The mistakes were kind of uncharacteristic of the first interception for Luke. Special teams, you don't see that really.
Yeah, that was a bang, right? Tip ball when his first pick, deflected pass, right?
Is that, I don't know, just kind of breaks in football, play number 1?
Well, no, I mean, they capitalized on it, right? We had some batted balls too. I think, it was obvious they were going to challenge us, right? Like we knew that was going to happen. They're going to get up and challenge our guys, and they were playing pretty handsy, and right, there was some pass breakups that were, even though that was the one they got, there were probably 2 or 3 that were close to getting in the other hands as well. And then I think the uncharacteristic, we all, Lane Hansen is out for at least probably this week, and maybe during the bye week he hurt his shoulder in the end of the Purdue game there, so kind of a determination there, but he's been our punt snapper for the last 3 years, and obviously that showed up today, so just a lot of things that it's kind of what it is. We can correct it, we can make some things, but also, when a couple things go against you. Literally, when I saw we put the knee down on the punt, I'm like, what else could happen, right? Like, that was kind of one of those woes me. But if you begin to feel that way and you accept it, you're never going to get anywhere. So we fought our ass off to get to this point, right? To make this a game that drew some attention, not just because Ohio State's coming to town, because we had 2 ranked teams, and I'm not going to diminish that. I'm super proud of what we accomplished, but it also is a good indicator that we're nowhere close to where we need to go to get this thing to be more consistent on a good basis, and it's good against a really good team.
Brett, you said after
Ohio State came in 5 points a game, allowing you, and you scored 16. But what kind of pressure does it put on a program? You have to be perfect almost.
Yeah,
when that's the case.
Well, I think there are 5 games into it. I actually wanted to go Temple the whole freaking game because they couldn't do shit with it, right? Like, we were doing a lot of really good things. So in retrospect, I think we could have done that a little bit sooner, a little bit quicker. Our quarterback's really good with it, but they got good players all over the place. Matt's obviously a very talented coordinator. They got really good personnel. But it seemed like when we went tempo that things really began to work our way. We just needed to go to it probably a little sooner, a little more often.
They've been playing, and in Columbus they're saying it's almost trestle ball.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing a little more conservatively than people think. Is that the luxury that a defense like that can give you? That you don't have to?
I'm not Ohio State any advice. They're doing really good. They're ranked #1 in the country. They're a pretty good football team. They got a lot of good talent. Their coach is exceptional. They got a lot of really good players. Their kicking game doesn't give any flaws. Usually, in my experience, right, when you got teams like that, you can find something, but they just, last week that punt scheme they ran, just kind of, I think they're very creative. I think Ryan keeps them on edge. I'm excited because they're a Big Ten team, and I think they can do a lot of things nationally that continue to make our conference what it is.
Brett, you said after the Purdue game, defensively, you didn't want to give up free yards. You wanted to get them on the ground. Did you see progress there that from week to week?
I think we had Brett hit me going in. I want to know. I think we had like 4 possessions start inside the 40. And just I thought if we could, Aaron did a nice job of doing some things that made him play a little left-handed. Obviously, we gave up the one ball in the corner phase spot over there that just got away from us there at the end. But to play a team like that has so many weapons. I don't want to just dismiss everything, right? Like, we played really, really bad, and to lose by that score and play as poorly as we did as the #1 team, I'm not looking for anything other than it shows that we can do this, right? But we can't give away freebies, and we gave away freebies, and that caused problems.
One more after this. Is that a thing where Barry Lunny has the freedom to make that call, when to speed it up, when to slow it down?
I'm just saying that, Luke, when we've been Luke for 3 years, as soon as he begins to feel it, he can't go. He likes to go, and we obviously went to it at the end of the half there, but at halftime we decided to go tempo the whole way through. I asked a question from first to second quarter, and we didn't want to, which is why I get to make them, but I could have easily said that's on me. So I just thought, for what I've seen of these guys, right, they had not many people have run 2-minute on them, right, but when it did, it really slowed down the motion you saw and the things that you began to see. So that's why I wanted to do it.
Joey, last one. This and that defensively giving off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, so 3rd and 4, so there's 3rd and 1, there's 3rd and 2 to 3, 3rd and 4 to 6, and then 3rd and 7 to 10, and it's at 7 to 10 and that 4 to 6 range that we had a couple 3rd and 16s that we gave up over the last, in some of the games that we didn't have as much success as I wanted. So listen, the game, 75% of the game is 1st and 2nd down. That's football. So then your 3rd downs is somewhere usually between 15 to 20%, and it's a small number, but the effect on the game is huge, right? I think they had a 14-play drive, 3 3rd downs and a 4th down conversion, right? And we jumped off sides one time. I gave Atkins, who I love to death. I take him every day of the week and twice on Sundays, right? But we can't give up. When you're playing Ohio State, you can't jump on 3rd and 5, right? They can do, and they had a short 3rd down conversion, right? So we needed to have early down success to make them a little bit more manageable. But I think on the first drive we had a 3rd and 8 and a 3rd and 9, and they converted. And you can't beat Ohio State if you can't get off the field on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9.
Thank you, guys.